There's no statement in the English language that creates anxiety in the human brain like the words, "we need to talk." Your brain immediately starts making up assumptions about what's wrong and what the problem is. And most of the time, what we come up with isn't even real. We waste valuable time and energy stressing out about nothing. But what does that have to do with sales copy and writing copy that converts? Well, you can be writing for the most amazing offer in the world, but if you don't address the purchase objections in people's minds, it's like you're putting them in limbo with, "we need to talk," and leaving their brains to try to figure out how to close the loop. If we haven't met, I'm Christa Nichols. I've been writing direct response sales copy for 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and business owners for the last 6 years. I've seen it all, and now I'm on a mission to help equip freelance copywriting moms with the right skills and strategies and techniques to be able to generate income from wherever they are so that they can write their way to freedom. Unaddressed purchase objections will continue to live inside consumers' minds. Unless you dig in deep to figure out what they are so you can address them in your sales copy, you're leaving buyers to make their own assumptions about the offer and its ability to solve their problem. That's not good because we all know what happens when you assume. In this video, I'm going to break down 2 more common purchase objections that pretty much every offer out there will deal with. I'll point out the different ways these objections show up in people's minds and give you some strategies on how to deal with each one in the sales copy that you write. And if you're a business owner or entrepreneur who writes their own sales copy, this applies to you too. So let's talk about ability and results-based purchase objections. This YouTube channel is full of actionable and proven hacks, tips, and strategies for freelance copywriting moms just like you. Make sure you subscribe and smash that button so you get notified when my videos go live. When I first started out as a freelance copywriter, I struggled with pricing my services. I'd spent some time as a social media manager, and not only was I not very good at it, but I hated social media management. And it didn't take long before I shifted my focus to sales copywriting, which I loved, but I carried my past experience of being a not-so-hot social media manager with me and affected the way I moved and the decisions I made in my business moving forward. I underpriced my services for a while because I doubted my ability to get results. There are people out there searching for solutions, and they're bringing their doubts about their abilities with them. This will affect the way they make purchase decisions if you don't deal with those objections. So let's talk about how ability-related purchase objections show up and how to deal with them in your sales copy. The first way ability-related objections show up in people's minds is the question, "Is this for me?" People want to know, am I qualified? I've failed before. Am I going to be able to get the results I want now with this? You know, and I know they're a perfect fit for the offer, but they don't, and that's the problem. It's the sales copy that must help them self-identify as the exact person the offer is for, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. First, you can use stories in the body of the copy to illustrate the before and after of the results people just like them have gotten. Stories are connective and they have a way of showing people the truth while holding their attention. For example, let's say your client sells a sleep course that helps perimenopausal women who have trouble sleeping, and it helps them sleep through the night again. This is a big problem they have, and it's a solution these women desperately want. Yet, it's not always an instant yes, because some of these women will see the offer and think, "Wow, that sounds great, but it's not for me." They might think, "Oh, it's probably only for women who are skinny. I'm overweight, so I bet I won't be able to get the same results they are." She automatically assumes there's something in her that will keep her from succeeding. But if you know this is an ability-related purchase objection these women have, you can include a story about an overweight woman just like them who took the course and started sleeping better. Another way to deal with the "is this for me" question is to just straight up say who the offer is for. You might think that's unnecessary, but remember, that's an assumption, and we know what happens when you assume. Don't make people guess who the offer is for. The second way ability-based purchase objections show up in people's minds is with the question, "Can I figure it out?" Trying something new and unfamiliar can be nerve-wracking. You don't know how it's going to turn out. It seems safer to just stick with the familiar pain of the problem you're dealing with. And it's even more terrifying for those who have tried and failed with something else before. People want to know how something works, and if they don't understand it, they may doubt whether or not they'll be able to figure it out. Can I do it? Am I smart enough, strong enough, beautiful enough, tall enough? Fill in the blanks with whatever the audience is struggling with about themselves. what they're thinking they're not enough of. It's really important to make sure the sales copy communicates how the offer works and what they'll need in order to get the result that they want. This can be as simple as writing a short description or as involved as including a step-by-step breakdown of how it works. The higher the price point, the more information you'll need to include. The final way ability-based purchase objections can show up raises the question, am I in this on my own? People know they may have questions along the way. What they don't know is whether or not there'll be somewhere to turn. What if I get stuck? How do I get help? Where do I look for answers? Is something that people want to know. Nobody wants to invest in something only to feel like they're alone on a deserted island if they need support. Make sure the copy lets them know there's help and support available when they need it. Great places to address this are the frequently asked questions in a sales page or in an email. Now let's turn our attention to the next type of purchase objection, results-based purchase objections. Raise your hand if you've ever purchased something only to be disappointed. Yeah, me too. It's awful, especially if it's not the first time a product or service has let you down. Some people in your target market for the products and services you write for are jaded. They're not just going to take the word of the copywriter or the person that's offering this product or service. So it's time to get serious about dealing with the results-based purchase objections. Have you ever looked at something and thought, I wonder if this even works? That's the first way results-based objections tend to pop up. Like I said, we've all been let down by something we've purchased before. Those disappointments affect the future purchasing decisions we make. If we're not questioning our own ability to get results, we're questioning whether or not the product or service gets results. The good news is there's a pretty simple solution to this. Testimonials. When you include testimonials of other people who've gotten results from the offer, that's gold standard social proof, and it's priceless. It is so powerful for consumers to be able to see people just like them getting the result that they want. So grab those screenshots and create those pull quotes and get those videos. There's no such thing as too many testimonials. The second way these types of objections show up is, what if I don't love it? Nobody wants to get stuck with something that they thought was going to be great but doesn't work out. In fact, we hate that so much our wallets stay frozen in our pockets sometimes unless there's a just-in-case escape hatch. What do I mean? I'm talking about guarantees and warranties. Now, not every offer you write for will have one, but those that do, make sure people know about it. Put it front and center. These things help remove risk from people's minds. Most people will never end up using a guarantee or a warranty, but just knowing it's there can be enough to put their mind at ease. The final results-based purchase objection is one that will really have you doing your market research as a copywriter. You need to be able to answer the question, why is this going to work when nothing else I've tried before has? So we touched on this type of objection a little bit in a previous video on cost and time objections. Being able to differentiate the offer you're writing for from other solutions people are trying helps make purchase objections irrelevant. But that means you have to be familiar with what those other options are and why your offer is different. To do this, you're going to need to lean in on clear communication about the unique value proposition of the offer. If you've never heard the term unique value proposition or UVP, I'll break it down. The UVP makes your offer stand out from the competition by describing why and how it's different from the rest. It creates that it factor that triggers dopamine in the brain and makes people want it. If people don't know why or how the offer is any different, better, more unique, or category of one, they'll just go with the cheaper option, and nobody wins in a race to the bottom. Results-based purchase objections can be tricky to deal with, but by providing real-life testimonials, including a guarantee or warranty, and clearly outlining what makes this offer unique, you'll be helping prospective buyers choose your offer. So what do you think? Are you ready to tackle ability and results-based purchase objections? Give me a thumbs up if this video is helpful, and drop a comment below and let me know how you're going to use these tips this week. And if you missed part 1, where I talked about time and cost-based purchase objections, scroll down to the video description below. You'll find the link to part 1 of how to write sales copy that converts in the Watch Now section. And make sure to subscribe and follow this channel for more tips, strategies, and resources for copywriting mamas like you.